Alright guys, Mo Crawler. Today we're going to do something a little different. This is going to be not a tire test, but kind of. What do I mean by that? These are Traxxas Canyon Trails for the TRX4M. And I love Canyon Trails. I love 1.9 Canyon Trails. If you guys have seen Sport, the TRX4, he's on a set of them. If you guys have seen the Gen Cat or the Red Cat Gen 7 Crash, he is on a set of them. He's on a set that I actually modified and narrowed. I love Canyon Trails, and these are cut Canyon Trails. So I did the modification that you would do on a 1.9. So I cut out the smaller lug, and I went around and snipped the bigger lug. So I cut these just the way you would a set of 1.9s. But so to put these on standard 1-inch wheels, you have to have a special ring, and you can see how deep that that section is there for the for the tire to put on, to latch onto, right? And it's because this lip is so thick on these. It's kind of crazy actually, and they're very thick overall. They're just a very thick material, very thick rubber. So as you can see, instead of doing an insert, I've actually taken some fridge foam and some carpet tape and just wrapped the inner ring with a layer of fridge foam. So that's what we use for inserts in these. And I know that's kind of crazy, but the reason that we do it is because they are so, gosh, these are hard to get in. They are so thick that they almost, they don't really need inserts, to be honest. If you can see, that's with that ring with the fridge foam loaded in. These are some Endura wheels. I got to make sure they are directional, so we got to make sure we're getting them, getting the directionality correct. They're hard to mount. The beadlock lip is extremely thick, and we got to get that lined up. These wheels are a little bit of a pain. They're Enduras. They look really cool, but they are a bit of a pain to get everything lined up correctly. So we will see. It's probably not lined up correctly. But we will see what we can do here. Sometimes you need this guy to kind of line things up. I've got a flashlight that I'm using to try to see down in there. That is not lined up at all. Yeah, so they're a pain. Made more so by this particular tire, because the tire is kind of a pain too. So the reason that we're doing this is because I got these because I like Canyon Trails, and then I realized that you can't mount Canyon Trails on standard 1-inch wheels from anybody. Again, because their bead is so weird. So you have to get specific rings, internal rings, so that you can mount them. So that was a bit of a process. Got them mounted up. Did the cuts and I originally left them on the foams, stock foams that came with them, and realized pretty quickly that these are terrible. These are terrible crawler tires. They're just, they're the worst that I've ever come in contact with. They have no grip. They have no grip. They look cool. I really like these wheels. So if you're going for a look, I would say, and you like the Canyon Trail, hey, I like the Canyon Trail, so that's why I got them. But if you want to crawl with your SCX24 or TRX4M, or you name the small scale crawler, if you want to crawl rocks, don't buy them. Don't buy them. And we're gonna get it on film here. We're gonna go through the tire test protocol, and you can see for yourself. But they're at least in my experience so far, they are just terrible. Now, I'm glad I have them. They look pretty good on Gizmo, which is my SCX24 on a Nerd RC chassis. It's got the Melting Plastics Company Chevy Love body on it, and I think they look really cool on that truck. And you know, if you're just driving around kind of flat surfaces or what have you, you know, the look I think is cool. The performance is not. So, but we're gonna get these mounted up. We'll get it over to the test board, and you guys can see for yourselves why. I mean, we'll give it a score and everything. You know, we'll do the whole deal. But at the end of this, I think you'll understand why these are not going to be a recommended tire for rock crawling. Again, they look cool. I like them. I'm glad that I have them, and I will continue to use them for very specific circumstances. But when it comes to rock crawling, they're epically bad. They're epically bad. So let's I'll get them swapped over. We'll get them over to the board, and you guys can join in my pain. All right. All right, we're gonna start on the left side. There's gonna be a lot of that. There's gonna be a lot of that. They just, I don't know. They lack traction, big time. All right, that's not gonna work. Like I've never really experienced the tire with this lack of traction. Well, there we go. It was a pretty good. It was a pretty good entrance. And this left side. One more shot. My goodness, man. Well, I think it might be a time for a new receiver for old Wiley here. When we roll over now, which he has done so many times, it seems like I lose connection. I lose the ability to control the truck, which is a little weird. Okay, so this is the best entry that we've gotten so far, but we're already, just as soon as you start to, all right, so we'll try middle cut now. As soon as you start to apply throttle, they start to slip. And don't think we have the entrance here, but maybe. All right, try 2. You get a little bit of purchase right there, and you just start to lose it. So some of that is diameter. The diameter is not helping him. That's for sure. But we got a little bite there, so we just inched forward. Try to slow it down, try to work that front end. Oh boy. That's as close as we've come. You can just hear those lugs just popping. We're so close, we're going to give him another little shot here. Oh, come on. So, yeah. See, we get that right there, and every other tire, once you get to this position, they just pull. That front passenger side finds some bite, either on the right side of that notch or on the left side of that notch. But as soon as you lose that spot with these tires, they just fall away. Like they have no holding power. They have no holding power. So if we can get that little pull up again. Oh, we got it. We got it through sheer beans, I guess, through sheer just giving her the juice. She was able to pull up. Crazy. All right, we're gonna attempt right side. You know, the diameter of these, they're about 57, so they're a class 1 diameter, which is not going to help, and they have a serious lack of traction. All right, second try, right side. I don't know if there's a good way to approach. Again, the small diameter is not helping, and then as soon as we get too far to the right with that rear passenger side, he's gonna be in a bad spot. Yep, there it goes. All right, third try. Maybe we'll try a little further left approach, and that rear tire is just going to pull us around before we can even really attempt it. They're real hoppy. You guys saw how little of an insert we have in there. So the hop is all from the carcass of the tire itself. There's just too much carcass there. The tire's too thick. And so hoppy. Now we've got the rear pumpkin dug in, which is why we're not moving. But again, that has to do with the diameter of the tire. They just don't have the diameter. So, all right, we're going to call it. All right, we're going to try the left side. The crash pad is most definitely in place for this one. So we'll see. We're going to cut in early. Oh, so much push. And off. Try the left side again. Second attempt. I'm going to cut in here. So this is the cheater. This is not a make if he makes it, which doesn't look good. All right, attempt 3, left side upper. Let's take him down to the normal, get him past there, and he's already off almost. Yeah. All right, let's try the slot. Just it's so hard to control these tires. Yeah, these have so little forward drive that it's almost unbelievable. It's like you're driving on slicks. All right, attempt 3 at the slot. We're going to come in way over here this time, but he won't hold it. See, that's the problem. Even when you try to position on these tires, when you try to position and you'll fight for your position, and then as soon as they get any resistance at all, they just slide away, and you can't hold the position that you work so hard to get into. Oh my goodness, he pulled the slot. Would you look at that? Wow. Okay. Middle cut. So we're going to hang high like we did, like we kind of learned with the Injora pins and spare parts. So we'll even give him a little and see this is the tire that I'm thinking of whenever I say there are some tires that can't even do this part. They can't even reposition themselves to pull up this face. You see, they just slide out. So this is a little bit of a cheat because we repositioned, but look at him go. See, and everybody gets belly hung here. Oh, see, that's the thing with these tires. Even when they make something, they try to betray you. even after they're 90% done with a line, they try to betray you at the very end. All right, now we're going to try right side. I feel like maybe I should move the crash pad. Okay, crash pad engaged on that side. And again, the diameter of these tires is not helping with this obstacle. We're hung on our front diff, which these small diameter tires will do. And now we're going to get kind of belly and rear diff at the same time. But most tires can pull us back up and over. These cannot. So maybe we try cheating to this side. That's not really that's not really the obstacle. We did that already. When we did middle cut. So let's reposition. Okay, right side. We've got to drive to the tire maybe a little bit more and figure out how we can drive to the tire. Okay, I'll if he can pull this, I'll call it a make. Oh. All right, last shot at right side. I think this is impossible. Given the diameter, given the extra width that these wheels are giving us, and just the lack of traction in these tires. Oh. had to give it so much throttle to get it to move that once we got positioned correctly, we were already into it too deep, I think. So, all right, let's score it on the bench. All right, back on the bench with the Traxxas Canyon Trail 1.0. You guys can see here, here's the score sheet. I did mark this out because it's not the Injora yellow that we typically do. This is a tire test and it's not a tire test. 25 out of 70, right. Left cut on the lower section, didn't really make a lot of progress towards that one. I gave him a 3. Middle cut, he made it, but just barely. Just barely. So I gave him a 5 on that one. Right cut, didn't even really make a lot of progress towards getting up there. So he got a 2. Upper section left cut, just pushed out and fell off. I mean, didn't even try to turn up and climb. The slot candy, I gave him a 5. He kind of fooled me and actually pulled that one off at the end. Middle cut, you know, fooled me, and we had a cheater in there where we kind of backed up and got some extra repositioning that we don't normally allow for, but we gave him a 5 on middle cut. And then right cut, he got a 3. Again, just didn't really ever even try to make that line. So that's what we got. I think they look great. I like the wheels. I like the looks of the tires. I'm a Canyon Trail guy. 1.9 Canyon Trails are some of my favorite tires. Unfortunately, I think when Traxxas made these, I think these are the same thickness as a 1.9 Canyon Trail. I really believe that. They're extremely thick. And I think, you know, they'd probably wear like iron. You could probably drive these for, I don't know, 100 miles on a TRX4M or an SCX 24, and you wouldn't even see much wear on them. Right there, they're getting a little bit of wear, so they are feathering in a little bit, mostly on the very outside lugs. But I mean, they just, there's no bag, there's no compliance, and you guys saw what I have inside these. It's basically nothing. It's basically a ring, a lock ring with a piece of fridge foam wrapped around it. I mean, I don't think there isn't an insert that's soft enough for these to perform on rocks. So maybe if you had a much heavier rig, I don't know, but they are frustrating because they slide so much. You have to apply so much throttle to get them to go. But at the same time, I love them. I love the way they look. I love the way Canyon Trails perform. I'm a Canyon Trail guy when it comes to 10 scale rigs. So it's a little heartbreaking that these are so bad. But I mean, they're going to stay around here. Like I said, we put him on Gizmo, and he looks good. He can run around and you know, kind of go trailing a little bit, I suppose, with him. But anyway, that is the Traxxas Canyon Trail 1.0. I can't recommend it unless you'd like to look and you have a very specific use case for them. But for rock crawling, I'm going to have to say that's a definite not recommend. And Traxxas, man, I wish they would redo this. I wish they would. I don't know about the compound, but I wish they would make them thinner. I think that would make a world of difference for these tires. So anyway, that's it. Thanks.